All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Australian Racing League, the last round in Belgium, Prodigy edition. In the commentary box with me tonight, myself, Man of Tin, and our special guest, HK Racing.
G'day, buddy. How you going?
Oh, not too bad, mate. We've got through the little bit of nervous starts, but I think we're off and running now. HK's just jumped in the box, so bear with him as he gets his bearings, but in for a cracking night.
Yeah, look at it. It's going to be great racing too. So, look, yeah, it has been a bit of a shaky start, but you've got JJ, Reblitz, Werreboy, Spliff, Grovesy. Rudy's back after a disappointing run yesterday. Apex with a massive chance of taking victory here. Tazza, Lemons, Shanuti. I mean, Bailey, look at the names in there. We're laughing. We're going to be in for a great race. And this place has proven to us over the last two nights that if you want to come race somewhere, this is the place to come play.
Well, that's it. So we still have I think the constructors are still up for grabs. I might get you to just double check on that one.
Sure, I'll jump into Discord and take a quick look at the way things are shaping up at the moment with regards to that. Just give me 30 seconds.
Yeah, right, mate. You take your time. As we're looking to see who's actually out at the moment. And it looks like we might have our normal... Yep, Panache as normal, out first, about to start his first lap. So we'll watch him as he starts coming around.
While you watch him, I can tell you Lemon, obviously at 180 points, is, unbeatable at this stage. But right behind them, there's a great little battle going on. Nordal's on 129, JJ on 116, he's out there tonight. Fluxy on 103, Kyle on 98, Bassing on 97. So he could jump forward a couple of spots here. And Apex on 94, even though he hasn't run the full season, is shaping up well. And Grovesy just 1 point behind. So in the Drivers' Championship, things are looking pretty cool.
Yep, and as we know, it was announced this week that the top six, whether they go up or whether they stay, will be able to pick their teammates, which is a massive advantage.
How good is that, Randerton? Doesn't that open up the door? But they can't pick one of the top six, is my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong. So that means they have to pick somebody outside that pecking order, which will even things up. But as you say, does give the top six a massive advantage in the Constructors' Championship, which stands at 303 for Aston Martin, Alpine on 235, Haas on 224, and 219 for Williams. So Haas and Williams in for a big battle here tonight as well.
Yes, looking very, very excited. I hope that everyone in the box is ready to go. We've always seen windows with the Lemon Gang signs. No, there isn't a FIBA racing tonight. Is that Dim Constipation? Hello to you. And I heard Grovesy is going to win from M. Ranagoa, as our first lap is a 1:44.2 by Panache.
Yeah, not a bad way to start the day. 1:44.2 is not a slow round, is it? I noticed that Reblitz is going straight into the pits, so he's just out there getting a feel for it. As what do you call him? 33 Eves, isn't it? 1:43.16.
Yes, 33 Eves. I don't know why he's changed his name, as we need it for the data and whatnot. But as we say, people do what they will do. So hopefully we can.
Call him Elvis.
I think a lot of people have come along with Elvis, actually. It just seems to be quite easy, as Grovesy puts in a 1:43.6 and Fluxy with a 1:43.9. So already cracking into the 1:43s. 33 Evis almost cracking the 1:42. So with the track only going to get better, we are in for some very exciting racing.
I'm currently watching, touring around the track at the moment, Werreboy, who, if you were watching last night's coverage, ended his race really, really badly. And I can tell you right up to about 10 minutes ago when I spoke to him, he's absolutely gutted by that result. He felt that he was probably overdriving and not being patient enough. So tonight, I think you'll find Werreboy, who's got great pace here, is going to be out there with a different mindset. Comes down across the line now. That's what he does. He's in 10th at the moment. Starts his flying lap. Well, that was a flying lap, but it hasn't registered on my screen, I don't think. He's used 70% of his ERS and in 9th spot with a 1:45.39.
Yeah, well, hopefully that'll sort itself out. But we do have a few guys out on the mediums. So JJ, Bassing, and Werribee already going out on the mediums to, I don't know, maybe get used to the track, maybe see where they can set up on there. It'll be interesting to see what goes on.
Do you ever go out in these early parts of the session on mediums, man of 10, and just see what sort of a time you can do on the mediums, and that sort of cements in your mind what your strategy is going to be for the race?
Yeah, every now and then. Obviously, Xander being my teammate, we talk a little bit about going out on mediums early just to kind of get used to it. It just depends on the track, because sometimes you need those extra mediums, so you don't really want to go and hurt them. But if you know you're not going to use them, it's always nice to just see what they have. Just because you never know. If you can get used to the pace early, as we know, it's all about being fast. But if you're not consistent, you can set the fastest lap. If you're doing the slowest lap 3 ones before, you're not really going to get anywhere. So I guess it is a good. You save an extra pair of softs. So depending on the track, I do like to have, mix it up a little bit, keep things spicy.
I like to run sim times with mediums on in qualifying, just to see what sort of a consistent time I can get out of the car. And I'll sit there in pit lane and watch the times. And if I think I can qualify, reasonably in the top 10 between, 5th and 10th on mediums, I might roll the dice and give it a go. But if my times are outside that, then you're mad. You just got to jump on softs and go for it, aren't you? And see if you can get to the hero status.
Well, that's it. But at the end of the day, we'll see how we go. As we got Spliff here, coming off a good result last round, just about to start his fast lap in the Red Bull. So
the Jewish hat's just written in commentary, bro. Can't hear the commentators aren't speaking Martian. I might just have a listen to my stream and see if I can determine what he's talking about.
There might be a person who's logged into the Twitch who is actually speaking Spanish. So
okay.
don't worry about it. I think they're just
broadcasting.
they're just trying to get out of it. We have a DNF. We catch that on the screen. No, we don't. He didn't DNF, but that's a big crash.
I just saw it on the stream itself. That was massive. The Red Bull powering it into the wall. Apex jumps up into second fastest. Fluxy to third. Grovesy, then Panache, Rudy, and Mickey up into the top 7.
Yeah, both of the... we'll hopefully get around to our championship leader in Lemon when he does get around a little bit. So he's just about to start his lap now. Let's see what the reigning champ can produce.
Either way, it's going to be gold. You know that, don't you? Every time he comes out on the track, he's so consistent and so precise with his lines. It's great. I'd love to get copies of the saved races just so I could sit there and watch how he drives around these tracks and does it so consistently. A great talent.
Yes, very, very good. I said he'll be one of the Muns moving up into the elite, I would presume, unless something untoward goes wrong with the F2. With 2022. Have you, now that you've had a play, I think we were talking about this a couple of nights ago, now that you've had a bit of a play, how are you feeling? You've just opened it up, made sure that you got your race out of the way before you actually jumped on.
Yeah.
Have you been spamming it for the last 2 days, and how are you feeling?
No, I haven't. I've got some technical issues that I'm trying to work through. The fuel for the car, though, I've got to say I do love the car. But for some reason, things aren't working well frame-wise for me at the moment. So I haven't got the best out of it. But what I have felt, I can't wait. The biggest thing I love the most is that the new game has gone from 4 points of tyre wear to 8 points of tyre wear. And I've been getting caught out with going into corners, finding out that there's no grip all of a sudden. And I'm so keen to get out and run sims to see how that feels.
Yeah, I'm liking the 1 to 50 on the wings. I think that's going to add a huge part to racing now.
Gives you way way more adjustment to bring the car rather to your style rather than Jana Watmir's, if you know what I mean.
That's exactly right. So, as we see, Lemon putting only in going into 7th. So maybe just taking some time to, warm up a little bit.
Your reaction there was absolutely perfect. You said exactly what I was thinking. 7th, really?
Well, it's not everyone is trapped. It could also be, bluffing a little bit, going, "Oh, boys, you can have a sniff." Not really in it tonight, but I'm expecting a little bit better than that from the big man himself.
Or just going out and setting a delta time when there's 5 minutes left on the clock, comes out and switches on the nitrous oxide, puts the SpaceX signage on the sign of the car and goes into orbit.
Well, I've also got from Mr. Grovesy, wet race. Everyone bet on a safety. So there might be some race engineers that are going to have to start getting to work now.
A wet race here. With the safety cars we've seen so far this weekend and the races that have already been run, I actually like racing in the wet. I can't wait till I step up to a class where there is wet racing because I feel comfortable in it. But I know for the first couple of laps, I think I'd have a very tight sphincter. Bailey out.
Bailey's had a little bit of crash and DNF as we're going to watch Flukesy here.
He's just starting a flying lap now. Sits in 3rd with a 1:43.44.
Breaker, my number one rule about not watching Williams unless you want a highlights package. Shout out to old mate James, my arch nemesis from last season. Currently in a Williams himself, and Flukesy, an ex-teammate, but before he decided to disintegrate the last round last year, we kicked him out and sent him down to Williams. So let's see if he can
redeem himself.
Nah, we don't want to see him redeem himself. We want to see Flukesy spin it. That's all we want. We want consistency, and consistency is what the people want and what the people need, and that means track limits and a big spin from the man main Flukesy.
Well, he's dropping down the pecking order, and he's still just 2/10 off pole position. So the thing I love about this class is how tight it is for in qualifying. There's very seldom more than a second between the top 10, and it's shaping up to be that way here today. And literally, that's just braking, a few feet later than you normally would to try and pick up 2/10.
Fortunately, I think Flukesy's actually gone off track.
Yeah, invalidated.
Yep, so straight into the pits for Flukesy. See if we can catch JJ here.
Yeah, he's making his way down towards the bottom end of the circuit. And
had a bit of trouble. Plus 11 seconds. That doesn't look good.
Yeah, he's not using any of his ERS at the moment too, so he's got that switched off. He's just on a warm-up lap at the moment, but already Grovesy and Bailey out, so 2 of the 16 out of qualifying. Spliff has gone 1:43.07 while we were doing that. 0.083 of a second ahead of 33 Eves, and JJ comes straight into the pits.
Yeah, I think he might have made a big mistake there. So just jumping into the pits, if people go in now, they might get another lap in by the time they get in and out. So we'll Spliff keeping to form is looking the goods here, as we do have Shanudi on his out lap as well, about to start, and Bassink as well, ready to come round. So a lot of guys still in the pits, leaving it to the last minute.
Well, even the grid, even if they finish like this at the end of qualifying, it makes for an interesting race, because Lemon's sitting down there in 12th. You got Rudy, who we know is quick, in 10th spot. Tazza in 7th, Flukesy in 8th, it's Tazza in 7th, Grovesy in 8th, Bailey in 14th, Werribee down in 15th, and we saw him charge yesterday. Could be quite fascinating.
Yeah, it could be very fascinating as we watch Bassink get going here. Shanoudi's retired from the session, so has also had a little bit of an incident right up the back.
And as we pointed out a few moments ago, that Bassink's in a really interesting position here because he currently sits 6th in the championship, but he only needs 1 point out of this race to jump in front of Kyle, and only a couple of points to knock Fluxy out of 4th. So plenty to race for him today.
Yeah, well, Kyle's not racing as Rudy is subbing in for him, so he might have him covered, but we will see how we go with that. He was 1/10 up just from the first sector alone, which again doesn't have many corners, so let's see if those new fresh tyres, I think he might have pulled out of this.
Yeah, he's backed right off, hasn't he?
Let's see if we
out of the way of JJ.
We have 33 Evis here who's about to start a lap. We might just see who else is. Apex is in. JJ's coming around quite slowly. People are starting to build up now, so with 49 seconds left.
It's interesting, you've got Blexa Road on your screen and I've got 33 Eves on mine.
Or maybe I entered when it wasn't changed.
Yeah, yeah. He's definitely done the right thing. Just letting the stewards out there know.
Yep, I don't have to do with that. I was happy with the Academy boys this week. The Academy boys, there was absolutely nothing. It was beautiful.
There were a couple of little incidents, but we managed to sort them out off the track, which I think is not a bad way of playing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So what do we got here? Just looking at the chat, there has been Spinsy from Dodge, Darkly. Eckham's up here looking around.
You're watching 33 Eves at the moment. I've just got my eyes on Bassink to see what he's able to get out of this one as well. So far, it's been a pretty clean lap from him.
Yeah, well, he's on a second lap old soft, so he managed to stuff it up. So, see what he does as not quite enough here to take it off Spliff. But did break into the 142s.
JJ's on an out lap as well too, so that'll be good to watch.
So waiting on JJ, Mickey DeWiz, Panache and Bassink. What can Bassink put in here?
Well, he's about to come down across the line. Has he improved up into third? 143.1. That's absolutely a great result for him. Gets knocked straight back to fourth though.
And we got Lemon coming around, or is that Mickey DeWiz? Mickey DeWiz first. So let's see if we can catch the end of Mickey DeWiz. Going into fifth.
Nice.
Panache coming around now. They're not quite improving with a 144, I wouldn't have thought. So
we got ourselves an interesting grid here.
Yeah, well, Spliff continuing his good form with putting himself on pole by just over 3/10, followed by 33 Evis in second, JJ third, Bassink, my man from Alpha Tauri, my super teammate, with a late surge this year on fourth, Mickey DeWiz in fifth, Apex in sixth, Fluxy in 7, Tazza in 8, 9 is Grovesy, 10 is Werribee, Lemon in 11th, quite disappointing from Lemon, Panache in 12th, Reblets 13th, Rudy 14th, Bailey 15th, and Shanuti in 16th, not setting a time, crashing out. So that is your top thing, as we're going to come back to you really shortly.
Here they come to the start.
Yeah, baby, it is raining. I'm a happy man of tin. I am so happy.
Well, we wanted to
That's the wrong
see
thing to
good
say.
racing. No, it's not. It's we wanted to see good racing, and we're about to find out the men from the boys. So, as Spliff is really trying to attack that first corner, we'll quickly just see everyone starting on the intermediates. So, no big surprises.
This is going to be so much fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Chat, better start getting involved here with halfway through the formation lap. Who are your dark horses? Who do you think is going to come through? Do we have anyone with secret knowledge on if they win a wet setup for question for the race engineers? Windows.
I'll put my head on the chopping block early. I'm going to put Werribee in for a podium in this one.
Oh, Werribee. I like it. I like it. Windows 99 saying that Lemon's going to win. It'd be nice to actually find out if we have any race engineers in. Did anyone go into that with a dry setup? Or did anyone go in there with a wet setup, or did everyone just try and put the fastest lap on and go, you know what, we'll just deal with it later?
Well, that's it. What you say is right, too, because we can see that it's raining now, but we don't know if it's going to rain for the entire race or if this is just a passing shower. Belgium is known for that, isn't it? 1 minute it's pouring rain, the next minute you've got a dry line. So we're not privy to that. So it would be good to hear from a race engineer. Yeah,
I know we have a few out there, but with dim constipation, easy W for JJ. So a few boys coming in. If you get your predictions in before the race starts, I'll give you a shout out. Make sure you get yourselves a nice little peek into the window of ARL. So you've gone for Werribee on podium. I'm going to back my man Bassink in here. I want the AlphaTauri curse to be over. I want it done. So we're getting ready. I think all the cars have just joined up on the back now as we have our last two cars settling at the back. We've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're off. Looks to be a pretty clean start.
Oh, problems further back in the pack, though. Shanuti, I think's had it coming together. Fluxy, I think's off to the side of the track as well. And Tazza has fallen back through the pecking order as well.
Spliff got away clean here. 33 Evis come into second. JJ's made up place into third.
Fluxy and Tazza it was that had the issue.
So we're just going off the position changes. Lemon has already made up 5 places. Reblitz has made up 4. Bailey 4. Shanuti. Unfortunately for the Alpine drivers, both Tazza and Fluxy have lost out, and the Williams drivers of Tazza and Fluxy gone, and Grovesy as well in the Alpine.
And Fluxy's in big trouble. He's going to have to pit. He's got no front nose cone at the moment, so he's a goner.
Oh, there's two at the back here, both with severe damage.
It happened just off the line. I think it might have been Tazza. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to cast aspersion. It was either a Tazza or Grovesy. One of them got too much wheel spin and just snapped sidewards and went straight across the track and ploughed them both into the wall. I was watching Lemon, who's already up into 6th spot. Oh, my Lord.
As we have Grovesy has DNF'd. Virtual safety car has come out. Just quickly go through the comments here. We have Reblets for P1, Baz will spin and crash, and then Art and Dash with Fluxy for P1. Looks like you boys have got it. Dodge coming in with Spinsy. Fluxy took out Taz. Up the Williams boys. Lemon for P1. We've got the Dodge coming in with Aston to win the Constructors. So we've got a little bit of spice going on in the chat. Love to see it. Keep staying involved as we are back to racing conditions. JJ's gone very wide here.
Oh, big crash too. A huge crash.
33 Evis. We've managed to catch that on screen, but he has gone square.
He obviously just got too much onto the paint and the back of the car just snapped out and he just launched himself straight into the wall. This has got to bring out a safety car, you'd think.
No, I reckon it's going to be off to the racing line on the right there. He's sitting where Lando Norris sat when he'd hit the wall, but I can tell you right now, 33 of us hit the wall a fair bit harder than our mate Lando Norris.
I was thinking that might help Tazza and Fluxy get back into the battle. They're now 40 seconds off the race lead, so plenty of ground to try and make up there.
Right, so I've just gone back into the pack here. We've got Lemon right behind Mickey DeWiz. Now, Werribee is hunting Lemon right up his clacker. Are we going to see? Are we going to see one and only team orders? Something that Ferrari seem to just not be able to do.
Well, as I said to you, I know Werribee's pretty motivated here. He was absolutely gutted from last night, and he's pushing hard, and so too's Lemon. He's using plenty of VRS up that back section of the track as well. They're all being very cautious under braking in the bus stop, as you would just try to find grip. As Spliff sets the early fast lap of the race, 157.3.
So 33 Evis has come straight to the track. Rear grip not found. And Jewish Hats comes straight back at him with, mate, looks like a skill issue. So...
Listen up behind the wheel.
Jewish Hat is taking no prisoners and he chose violence, unfortunately, for 33 Evis. But Evis did take, I guess, no mercy to that wall, because there'd be a big dent in it with that car.
Yeah, don't be offended, Evis, by what Jewish Hat's saying. It's just a McLaren thing. We go hard.
I like it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's it. Well, so we got Lemon up 6 places, Werribee up 4, Reblets up 6, Panache 4, Bailey up 6, Shanuti up 6. Fluxy still quite far behind, same with Tazza, as we have our first time penalty with Reblets 3 seconds.
That's because Reblets, Panache, Bailey and Shanuti are all nose to tail out there on the track at the moment. It's a good little dice going on as very, very wide runs Reblets that time around. He was like 4 or 5 car lengths out into no man's land. But Panache and Bailey keeping each other very, very honest at the moment, it has to be said.
So Spliff and JJ have pulled themselves away from Basink here, followed by Mickey DeWiz, Lemon and Werribee with a little bit of a break to Reblets, Panache, Bailey and Shanuti, all starting to get a little close as we might see a move from Shanudi here. Picked a better line. He might have through putting a lot of pressure on Bailey. Will we see a move? He's going around the outside. He's being squeezed. We have contact. It looks like we've got no casualties as of yet. So
well, that'll give the stewards something to think about. JJ's got a wriggle on now. He's closed in on Spliff, and he put in a fastest lap then and has brought the gap down to 0.6 of a second for the race lead. So he's getting on with it.
As we see, Flukes is DNF'd and we have a full safety car.
Oh.
Did I call it or did I call it?
You called it. You called it. You actually, I think you were praying for it, weren't you?
I don't have to pray for it. It's Flukesy.
I love the rivalries. So much fun.
That's it. So, with 4 laps into this 22-lap race, we've lost 3 races already. Grovesy, 33 Evis, and Flukesy, all very talented drivers, have come unstuck to the wet conditions here. So, will we see anyone pit? If we do, will they go the full wets? Will they start to bring out the soft tyres? Until we get a race engineer in the chat, I don't think we're going to know. I think it might just be a bit of a guessing game for us up here.
I'm a bit surprised, and I know this is going to sound wrong, and because he's a friend, I could probably get away with saying it. Apex down there in 11th spot. I thought he would have gone forward a little bit more than what he has under these conditions. So I'm not suggesting he's doing anything wrong. I'm just wondering what his game plan is, because he's normally a bit quicker than that in these types of conditions.
Unfortunately, he did start 6th, so
yeah, and went backwards.
Position.
Yeah.
So Werribee decided to pit. Janudi's decided to pit.
Is that the M&Ms?
No M&Ms.
No M&Ms tonight?
No
Damn.
M&Ms tonight. No,
I was hoping we were going to share. And Werribee's gone straight to medium tyres. So too Shanudi.
Someone knows something that we don't know.
Sometimes, a couple of times in Werribee, obviously Soccer Tom's engineer and Apex is mine. And I said to Werribee, sometimes you just have to roll the dice and hope for the best. I hope I haven't led him astray.
Well, I think Tazza's also gone into the pits as well, as Bailey's DNF'd. On a safety car.
Oh.
Bales, mate. Taz is also coming out on medium. So I would suggest that this wet weather isn't going to stick around too long.
Yeah.
And the boys at the back have gone, you know what, let's take a risk and let's try and get back in this race.
The only problem with that theory is, though, you're relying on information coming from Jeff, and we all know he's been sacked at the end of this race. Well, at the end of tomorrow night's race, in actual fact. And he's going to be replaced as the engineer. So can you trust him?
No, you can't trust Jeff. Never could, Travis Chess. Never will. But while we're on the topic of race engineers, have you heard the new voice of the new race engineer? What do you think?
I hate it.
Hate it?
Absolutely hate it.
Would you rather Jeff?
I would. Jeff sounds a little bit more structured. It just feels a little bit too casual for me. But I would like, the only thing I'd like to see added to the game is that we can switch the engineer off, and the engineer will not interfere with our pit strategies if we choose not to. Because when you're racing, if a safety car comes out and you go to pit and you've set up mediums, they'll throw you on hards because they've calculated the distance of the race. I'd love to be able to switch that off, so whatever I choose is what we get in the pits, rather than what Jeff or... What's the new guy? What's Jeff's new Jeff's name?
New Jeff. That's what I'm going to call him from now on.
New Jeff. Do you like the voice?
I do actually like the voice because I think it is a bit scratchy. As we see blokes diving into the pits now. JJ into the pits.
Oh,
Bassick into the pits. So Spliff stayed out on the intermediate. Sorry to interrupt with that question.
No, go for it.
I'll jump back into it. But it looks like Spliff and Apex have stayed out on the intermediates while everyone else has decided to pit.
so Werribee Shanuti have nailed their strategy. They picked it earlier than all of these guys and now elevate themselves up the standings as JJ lights up the rears on the exit. Beautiful drifting on board the Huss. But what do you think about Spliff and Apex? If this does dry out, they're not just lambs to the slaughter, they're in absolute all sorts of trouble. But just watching JJ make his way around the track at the moment, he's all over the place, can't get any temperature into those tyres. So this is going to be an interesting opening couple of laps, I dare say.
Well, hopefully that the boys at the back, I think it's really going to depend on whether or not Tazza at the back there can join up. If Tazza can get there at the end of this lap, and we have a safety car restart the end of this lap, we're done. I think that Spliff and Apex will make enough time up on the intermediates to get away. But if it has to go out one or two, or like one more lap, I would I'd be pointing more towards the slick tyres. But I actually think Spliff and Apex, yeah, they're being brave, but if it works out that the safety car's in this lap, I reckon it's going to be a good move.
What about Reblitz? He's come out on the soft tyres, so he's sort of gone for an in-between the mediums and the intermediates, if you like. He's gone for a little bit more grip than the guys in front of him, which may not be such a dumb strategy in lieu of the fact that the track is still wet. It may give him an advantage, but at this track, a safety car does come in this lap. We know that at about the end of lap 6 or 7, soft tyres in dry conditions anyway are starting to get a little bit, how's your father?
Yeah, well, I said the softs will give you more. Will give you more grip. I think, have we lost Apex here, or is yes? So Apex has he
ghosted.
Yep. So he's ghosted at the moment. So his intermediate tyres are probably not gonna be used much here. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think this is going to be a great start by Spliff here. Oh, as he's diving into the pit.
He's got into the pit, so the only other intermediate runner is Apex, who's ghosting. So, oh boy, Werribee slow away though. He could have capitalised there, but didn't get the power down cleanly on those mediums. Oh, this is a shame for Apex, because this may have been a pretty smart strategy as JJ dives up the inside of Sanuti and picks up third. Or defends third at least.
And it looks like Bassick's going to have a crack here as well. And he's managed to take the spot from Shanuti. That is a brave move.
You sort of, when you said he takes that spot, and I thought, hang on, has he? That was all over the place. Great driver control. Absolutely awesome.
So, just for clarification here, Apex is the only one that's out on intermediates at the moment. He is ghosted, so he's not going to have the best lap times coming out of an AI, but the AI is putting in some distance to the medium runners.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's just a game crash and he can get back in pretty quickly. I've got on my screen that he's still online, so and he's a controller, so it's not wheel problems as JJ has a go on Werribee. They're going side by side. JJ gets the overtaking manoeuvre done up into second and is the first of the medium runners out on track now. And Bassink wants to get involved in this as well.
Well, so far the medium runners have actually fared pretty well here. Reblitz has made up a couple of spots as well on those soft tyres, so may have made some in-grounds there. Did Spliff make a mistake on not pitting earlier or not staying with those intermediates?
Bassink getting a run on Werribee down into the bus stop and gets the overtaking manoeuvre done beautifully.
Attaboy, Bass. I told you, he's coming for that P1, baby.
He goes all right, and Reblet's now a Werribee on those soft tyres. This has been a great strategy call from his engineer. He's right up behind Bassick now, and you can see that he's going to launch it into him as they go up the straight as well.
With a full battery as well. So we all know that the softs have just that little bit more grip than the mediums in the wet. So Revlets is going to shoot up the inside here of Bassick. And Bassick's not even going to bother defending that. He's already clean past.
Now, Apex has been in and pitted, and I still think he's under AI, so his race is done effectively.
It's unfortunate for Apex. We all know he has a bit of pace, so Lemon has got in front of Mickey DeWiz, by the way.
Oh, so no team orders there. And Werribee under attack at the moment from Shanuti, who's got the Red Bull filling up the mirrors of that McLaren at the moment. That's the battle for fourth spot.
Panache with a 3-second time penalty. So just pushing a little too hard here.
And Reblitz is closing in very quickly as he just outbrakes himself and runs a little bit wide through the bus stop on JJ. He was up to 0.4 of a second, but now DRS has been enabled by the stewards. So Reblitz goes a 1:55.96, fastest lap of the race on those soft tyres. And he's closing up behind JJ. He's pushing very hard with his ERS at the moment to see if he can get the DRS going up the hill. I think he's missed the detection marker. It has to back out of it going through the left and right there. Did he get it? No, just out of range. So well done by JJ.
Bassick, however, does have it.
He certainly does, and closes that gap dramatically. Which is a perfect run for him too, because if he can stick with Reblitz on those soft tyres, you know they're going to bake. So if he can just use Reblitz to tow him along and keep him close to JJ, it may be all he needs.
That's it. And one mistake here is going to pretty much cost you the race. But will these drivers have to pit again? That's the question I'm going to put to you. Will they have to pit again?
Well, the guys on mediums, in theory, should. I drove 18 laps on mediums on Monday in the dry, and my tyres were fine. But Reblitz on the softs is definitely going to have to pit.
Yep.
There's no doubt there. But you do have to do a lot of tyre management to get them to last. Well, I mean, they'll last to the end of the race anyway, but you want to also have a little bit of grip as well when you get towards the closing sections of the race.
Well, that's it. As we just go back up. As we got a safety car.
Safety car.
Werribee's gone.
Oh, no. Werribee. My dude, what are you doing? Oh. Not his week. Not his week.
And Spliff gets a speeding under safety car.
Oh. It's bad enough doing that in academy class, let alone up here.
Well, Spliff's gone from our race leader to pitting very, very late to now might be out here, as looks like Tazza and Panache have both come out on softs here. So I reckon these boys are betting in that they can get another safety car, I would reckon. back to this race engineer. I think I like the sound of him, and I like. There's a few reminders in there to use DRS because your battery's too full and stuff like that, which I quite like. But yeah, I don't think I've raced enough with it to kind of make my final thoughts.
Verdict.
But I do like. I like the voice better than Jeff's. I think Jeff over the years has just annoyed the crap out of me.
Yeah. And it's not so much the voice, it's all the wrong calls that just sort of do your head in, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. Just telling you bad things every single time. But hopefully the next thing I want to raise with you, hopefully in the next game, well, now that it's out, we get some value out of the hard tyres. We know that in this F1 2021, the hard tyres are just shit house.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're pretty much not a factor. In this new game, especially watching the Formula 1 today, the hard and medium tyres seem to be what people love.
Reblitz is coming into the pits too to get rid of those softs. Yeah, you're 100% right. Like at Bahrain, the hard tyre's not a bad strategy. And once you get them up to temperature, which seems to take absolutely forever, they're actually a really, really good tyre. And a couple of tracks that we race on, they're a great tyre. They just take way too long to get up the temperature. If that's improved, that gives you a whole other option because 99.9% of the races, it's soft mediums, soft mediums, mediums, soft strategies. You don't even contemplate using the hards. I totally agree with you on that. Rebels comes back out onto the track in 5th behind Split.
Oh, I think it's been a pretty good... But he's gone back in for a fresh set of softs. So...
Yeah. And he'll take those to the end too, I would think. With because it'll be 10 laps, probably 9 laps by the time the safety car comes in. In 5th spot, with the guy in front of him having to do a drive-through penalty, he's effectively 4th. May not be too bad a strategy.
I reckon he won't be on, but I'm still sticking with my man Bass.
Well, it seems like me and everybody in chat have done a great job in getting rid of a few drivers. I tip Wirraboy, he's out. Chat was tipping Fluxy and Grovesy, they're out. So, did you put your head on the chopping block? Just refresh my memory.
Bassing, I told you.
That's right, yes, Bassing, sitting in 2nd.
My boy from AlphaTauri, the wise old Bassing.
Wise old Bassing, eh? Old. I don't think he'd appreciate that, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind the wise.
Nah, he's a wise man, Bass. He loves I think his favourite track's Japan, and we saw him absolutely destroy that race. So, but yeah, so far we got JJ, Bassink, Shinudi, and Spliff all on the mediums with 4 to 5 lap olds. Reblitz, fresh softs. Apex, well, I don't actually know if he's rejoined yet.
No, he hasn't. I just saw it. No.
But everyone else is on fresh softs. So if the soft runners can make inroads straight away, it'll be great. But other than that, if the guys at the front can stay in clean air, I think the medium runners are going to have this one. But I'm just reading the chat here. The new game, warm-up for hards are the worst thing ever. No grip at all.
Oh, really?
Makes the strategy dynamics interesting from Darkly.
Wow.
I think it's fantastic for career modes. Annoying when you're trying to undercut, though.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse when they get rid of the simulated tyre warmers as well, because the undercut won't be worth anything.
So the safety car's gone, and we are off clean. So JJ has made a clean break. Bassink's following in tow, Shinudi. And then a bit of a break to Spliff. So it looks like these boys have gotten away here.
Apex had a PC crash and couldn't load it back in.
To be fair, I think his AI might actually do a decent job here just to kind of, stay on the track and bring home some points.
He's been running both games, which I don't think's a smart play. I've elected not to do it anyway. maybe that had something to do with it. But yeah, computer crash. Rebs is still sitting down there in 5th spot, and Spliff's doing a pretty good job of holding him out at the moment, even though he has that drive-through penalty. He's not quite as quick on those softs as I expected him to be.
So we're just going to split back here to Taz's all over the back of Lemon here. So, and then... So jostling position, Lemon's pushing up on Reblets. Tazza is all over the back of Lemon. But JJ and Bassink have got away quite nicely here.
This is a great three-way dice, isn't it?
Lemon's going around the outside, got clean.
Ooh!
Oh, there's late braking there from Tazza. Can he get up the inside? Not quite. Reblet's holding him out.
There was a bit of wheel banging there too, I noticed. Panache goes quickest, 148.5.
So Spliff has got into the pits. I'm going to go with going in for softs. Lemon's got in front of Reblets. Now Reblets is going to have the DRS here. Oh no, he's not, sorry. The DRS isn't enabled for another lap, my bad.
Yeah, no, so I was in the same headspace, but he's going to get it done anyway. Goes to the inside, down into the braking area.
Oh, there he goes!
Yeah, and he's gone. He has spun out. Reblets, who was forcing his way up into a podium spot, has gone off the track and is now back down in 10th, potentially 11th, last spot. Taz has made it count, though. He's got straight down the inside of Lemon and is now up into 4th. I didn't see that one coming.
Well. Lemon straight back on the back of his heels here, so wouldn't count Lemon out with DRS about to pop back in. But it looks like JJ, Bassink have both gotten away and are out of DRS at the moment. They are in very favourable positions here. Medium tyres should easily make it to the end of the race.
Yeah.
And they've got some space to breathe.
And while the guys on soft tyres are making big inroads at the moment, you've got a question on whether that's going to get them to lap 22, don't you?
That's it. JJ followed by Bassink and that. Then Tazza with a full, almost a second and a half quicker than Bassink's lap.
He's going to get DRS on Shanuti this time around going up the hill. Now, a full second of a lap mathematically suggests that he could win this race, but you know that you're not going to get a second a lap on your opposition every single lap. So either way, I think we're going to be in for a pretty interesting climax to the close of this race.
So Taz is gone. Lemon's trying to go around as well. And Lemon's got Shanuti as well. So Shanuti's just been a sitting duck there with DRS all the way up that hill.
Would he be overly worried about it being on 8-lap old mediums? I think he'd be thinking end game, long run here. There's still a long way to go, particularly at this track where the slightest mistake on a ripple strip and it's all over Red Rover.
Well, that's it. We know the mediums will hold out, and we know the softs, even though quick to start with, they will die off. If I was the soft runners right now, I might be praying for another safety car.
Would you go hard or would you try and conserve the tyres for the end?
I think you've got to push while they're fresh. I don't think you have a choice.
Yeah.
And then once you're in DRS, then you can play conservative.
Yeah. So they've come out on softs, gambling for another safety car, moving themselves into a better track position so that the safety car comes out, knowing full well that JJ and Bassink will probably dive in and go for softs. And then just hope that they're going to have enough track position to be able to pull it off.
Well, that's it. If a safety car comes in, as he's done another fastest lap of 146, so he's going to be all over the back of Bass here, and he's probably going to eat him up.
Yeah, he's got to be right in the DRS range, and he's closing in before they even get to that point. Down they go, up, start their run up the hill towards the DRS detection point, up to the DRS activation point, and it opens up, and this is going to be just a walk in the park for Tazza.
This Lemon's going to go up the inside.
Lemon's going to have a go at Tazza as well. They're side by side. Lemon backs out of it. Bassink wants to come back and play. Oh, that's great driving by all three.
That is absolutely fantastic from the boys there. And this is what we come to see. Hard-nosed racing.
And clean. It's one thing to be hard, but it's another thing to be clean. And I think we're really blessed in ARL to have, you know, overall, I'm sure everyone's got their, oh, so-and-so did this or so-and-so did that. But as an overall rule, I think the majority of drivers out there do try and race clean. And when things go wrong, it's more of an accident rather than, an ego issue.
Well, I don't think we've had too many issues this year. I think, well, we don't mean to crash, I don't mean to DNF, and when we do things, we own up to the mistakes, and unfortunately it comes with penalties, but if we didn't have penalties, we wouldn't have clean racing like we do.
That's part of the game, isn't it? That's part of what we do, you know. If you put a ticket in on somebody, it doesn't mean you don't like them, it's just part of playing the game.
Nah, as if I put a ticket in on a Williams, that's personal.
Well, let's see what Tazza can do. It's a 2.3 second gap to JJ, who we know does play a very good game of chess. He may have been just out in front, knowing that the soft guys are coming and protecting his tyres a little bit, you know, building up some ERS. What's he got in the tank? 65% at the moment. So he might be just biding his time, waiting for the onslaught and giving himself the best possible chance, tyre and ERS-wise, when they catch him.
Well, Lemon's made up a little bit of time here. So if Lemon can hang on, he'll take that position back from Tazza. But Tazza's mightily quick through the Sector 2 here.
We know that there's strong support for Lemon out in the chat group. I'm thinking at the moment that JJ might be supporting him, saying, get up and really cook your tyres with Tazza, so that if you do catch me, you've got nothing left with regards to grip.
Yeah, well, they are going to start to die off relatively soon, especially how hard they're pushing. But it's going to be those last couple of laps that they're really going to feel it. Lap 21, lap 22, they're going to be screaming.
The big thing between Tazza and Lemon at the moment is Tazza's sitting on about 70% ERS and 10% for Lemon, so there's a massive disadvantage there to Lemon. The laps are ticking down. 2.2 for JJ, so he's held them at bay on that lap.
I think JJ with the open air is just absolutely enjoying it here. How far is Lemon this time? So Lemon's a little bit closer this time, but he's got a bad exit.
And not a great deal of ERS to play with. He's down at 16%, so it's going to all be DRS if he gets it done.
Got a better run through there. And here's the DRS, and that's going to be right around the outside, easily done.
Oh, well done.
Didn't get the best, the push out of the corner, but his line through up the hill was pristine. Took off a 1/10.5 off of Tazza just by having the better line.
And while these guys are doing that, your man Bassink is getting closer and closer again to the back of them, and with their tyres about to run off, he's sitting in a very comfortable position to potentially pick up at least a second here.
Yeah. I made the call in Japan when I watched that I said Bass would come through, and he technically won it. Oh no, did he technically win it? Nah, he just lost it on the last corner, but he still finished second.
Yeah.
And he was nowhere after an early spin, but when I back him in, it normally rings true.
And that's you know, each and every race that we compete in or take part in, we learn something. And what I've learned from this one is don't argue with man of tin if he's backing a driver.
Bassick's line through this last corner, he's gained so much time through that last corner.
I so would love to know what he's doing.
So we know that you can be 4/10 off here and still gain a position. So I'd be backing in. Taz is going to take it, but will Bass be able to catch up enough to also take Lemon as well?
Yeah, will he be patient or will he have a go? We're about to find out because the DRS is open. Lemon's the sitting duck. Tazza goes straight past, and you can see Lemon's very much aware of passing behind.
So he's going to be patient for this lap, but Lemon did defend a little bit there. But I think the soft tyres are going to start to disintegrate, and the medium guys are going to start taking over this race. So I'd be looking for that gap for JJ's to extend, and I'd be looking for Bassink to really start attacking.
It's come down by half a second, man, of 10 since the last lap. As Shanuti picks up a 3-second penalty. It's now down to 1.7. It was 2.3 the last time they passed the start-finish line.
It is fluctuating a little bit here and there. I think the slower corners, the soft runners, are still getting more grip, but the long runners, the long corners, I think the mediums are then as it's being pushed back out, and then it's coming back down again.
Yeah. Now, Lemon's been able to give himself a little bit of breathing space over Bassing, so the softs still are working, is what that tells me. But for how much longer? And I suppose we need to take into account that JJ and Bassing are on 11-lap-old mediums, as Taz has set the 145.37.
Right, I take it back. The softs are still brand new. Tazza is just, he seems to just, I don't know what he does to those tyres, but that man has some serious pace.
Yeah.
And he has won Prodigy rounds and is consistently in the top of the Prodigy. And he's racing in the novice.
Yeah, and has taken half a second in half a lap away from JJ. Now that's a headline in a newspaper, that.
Well, will it be enough? If he can get himself into DRS,
he's 1.1 at the moment. This is the section of the track where you were saying you were so quick.
Oh.
Gets a 3-second penalty. No, Tazza, of all the times to make a mistake, that one was not it.
no, that was not. But that's going to cost him dearly, I think. He's pushing so hard, and he's just popped up. He is almost in DRS territory too.
You can't help but get the feeling that that may just have cost him the victory.
Yeah, it's a harsh one, but he still does have 60% battery left.
Yeah, JJ's not doing too slouchy. Well, okay, he's gone down to 46 now. He was 88 at the beginning of that lap, so he's starting to get on with the job. Taz is very, very good at managing ERS, which is vital around this track.
If you're quick, you're quick. So he has lost a little bit of time there, about 2/10 in that last sector, but a really good exit here has that time shooting back down.
We're boys saying in chat that the 3 seconds can be removed. So maybe he knows something we don't. We're boy, sorry to see you bow out, buddy. We're thinking of you, bro.
Yeah, HK did have you back into that race. He said you were going to be on the podium. I don't think you'll protest a 3 second. 3 second. It's pretty hard to get removed, but you never know. So Tazza is just toying with that 1 second. Same with Lemon, and Bass has dropped off a little bit. So this could be the order we finish in.
And JJ's starting to really give his ERS a bit of a workout.
See the man at the front. So 13 lap old mediums. Tazza's pushing.
And he's in DRS range now. Only just, but He's using that ERS going up the back straight. To he's fallen back out. So this is going to be great. Only 2 more laps to go.
He really doesn't want to be in DRS trouble here.
And Lemon's not done with yet. He's still hanging on to the back of this and Bassing 1.8 off the back of Lemon. 2 laps is a lot of, what's that, 14 kilometres around this track. I think Tazza was doing a bit of slalom work coming down the hill there. He's weaving so far from side to side.
Well, Tazza hasn't had a good Sector 3 or a start to Sector 1 as 3 tenths has been put on. So these mediums are putting it on now, and the softs are starting to struggle, I would presume.
Now, and the point you make there, you see Bassing's now, well, as I speak, he's obviously just a bit slow through the chicane, but he'd brought that gap down to 1.1, so the point you make with those soft tyres is very, very valid.
I'd also like to see the line...
Sorry, Lemon, he's gone back to 4th. I didn't see what happened there, whether he had an off, but Bassing's back up to 3, up to 3rd, and Lemon's gone down to 5th, and he spun out. He's off the track on the double left-hander, and is going to fall right down the pecking order back to 6th spot, so he's out of a podium spot.
Unfortunate there for Lemon, but again, doesn't really need to rely on results this weekend as he's already wrapped up. As we've lost Tazza as well.
Oh!
So
he's looped it round.
So JJ, almost 5 seconds in front of Bassink in 2nd. Mickey DeWiz has just ran quietly today and sitting in 3rd at the moment. Behind him is Panache. As
That's a good... Sorry.
Lemon gets Tazza here.
If Mickey can hang on to that, that's a great result. As you said, he's driven very calmly, stayed out of trouble, not done anything stupid, and finds himself looking down the barrel with 1 lap left to go of a podium spot, and that podium being 3rd. I think he'd be very happy with that.
Well, he's got a little bit of protection as well. About, or just over 3 seconds in front of Panache, so he can kind of almost ease off with the main DRS straight. The danger well and truly out of the way by now.
Shanuti having a go at Lemon for that 5th spot. He goes down the inside in the Red Bull into the braking area, and it's going to get the overtaking manoeuvre done. I'm wondering if Lemon's got some damage now as a result of what transpired out there.
I just reckon those softs have just disappeared on him.
Yeah, could be that.
As Spliff got Tazza as well, so I reckon those soft tyres after those 2 spins are just completely cooked.
He's not giving up though, Lemon. He wants to go on with the battle with the Red Bull.
Tazza must have serious damage here because he's gone down again. Tazza's all the way down to 9th.
Wow. You wouldn't have credited that a couple of laps ago, would you?
No, you wouldn't. Well, it shows you one simple mistake can cost it. But
well, down into the bus stop comes JJ for the final time of this season, and puts a little bit of joy on as he comes down across the start finish line and takes the victory here after 22 laps. Bassink, as you said, on the podium. GG to you and GG to him, very deserving. And Mickey, really happy for him to be back there in 3rd. That's a really good turnaround. 11-lap-old softs that he kept performing exceptionally well out on the track and not launching it into the wall like some of the other people.
Reblitz is going to almost bring up our tail here with... there seems to be quite a bit of damage with the missing M plate to Tazza here. He's just going to plod around this last corner as our ghost Apex. Oh, he's going to retire and not even finish the race. That's disappointing. So after all that, Apex isn't going to get any points either.
Shanudi with the drive of the day. Well done to him. And well done to JJ on a fantastic race.
That is it. So Tazza said he's tried. A few of the boys saying Apex is never getting points. Fluke, so you didn't get any points either, so you quiet down back there, please. But that will do it for the Prodigy round. Just go through the results here quickly. JJ, our race winner, followed by Bassink in second, Mickey DeWiz picking up a third, Panache in fourth, Lemon in fifth, Shanudi in sixth, Spliff in seven, Rudiges in 8, Reblets in 9, Tazza back to 10th, Apex in 11, followed by Werreboy, Bailey, Flukesy, 33 Evis, and Grovesy with our DNFs. So we're going to quickly throw it to transition here, and then we'll be back with some interviews. So bear with us.
Here they come to the start line. Here they come to the start finish line again.
Alright, so we're just going to grab Bassink here. We cannot find JJ anywhere, so let's grab the man who finished second. Bass, I've backed you in all race, mate, and you've brought it home in second for me. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. That's what AlphaTaris do. They help each other out. Yeah, it's good fun.
Well, the only one that I seem to back you in, HK said Werreboy would come up there. Someone said in the comments that Flukesy and a few others, and everyone who put down names ended up DNFing. So you brought it home, the lonely survivor.
Yeah, well, that's good. I guess we don't have. I guess I've lifted the curse and passed it to someone else. Generally, it's the opposite way around. But no, it was good fun. Credit to JJ with that strategy. I just copied him as soon as I got the Jeff message, which sad to see Jeff not coming into the new game, and said it was in that changeover period we both shot in. So yeah, that was a strategy to say the least. And yeah, thanks to Tazza and Lemon for dragging me along at the end.
Yeah, it was good. You just chipped in there with the medium tyres. How much were your medium tyres hurting at the end? Because we know the soft tyres guys had to be absolutely hurting, and we saw that with Lemon and Tazza both in the second to last lap.
Yeah, I was saying to Darkly, who's helping out as my engineer, yeah, it was around 60 to 45, depending on the tyre. Generally, the left front takes a little beating, so that was a 60, and then everything else was ranging around that 50% mark. But yeah, good fun.
HK, what have you got for me? You got a question here for Bass?
Yeah, I do. I'd love a penny for your thoughts on those final couple of laps when you were right up behind the two soft runners in front of you who were doing, Lemon and Tazza were just battling it out. There were a couple of times we were trying to work out whether you were going to have a go and dive down the inside. What was going through your mind at that point? Were you just hanging on and just waiting to see how it played out?
Yeah, mainly to hang on. When they came up to me to begin with, I just let them go. I said to Darkly, I'm not fighting this. They're going to be too rapid for another 3 or 4 laps. Just let them go and just sit on the back. I had enough ERS just to chill. Because I saw them coming quickly and just sat in the back. And then I knew probably about the last 3 or 4 laps it would be good fun, some tough racing. But yeah, they unfortunately for Lemon had a PC issue or something like that, and then I don't know what happened to Tazza. All I saw was him around, and I just didn't have time to react. Lucky ghosting was on, because just went straight through him.
Yeah, well, it was a really commanding drive, and I always felt that Formula One's a bit like a high-speed game of chess, and if that is true, watching you drive today was a perfect school on how that should be done. Did it feel that way in the car?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. It's good fun. I always get called the old fella. Actually,
Yeah,
with
I
the
thought
different.
Manitin was being rude when he said that.
It's the wise old head of Bassing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I've been called the old fella with the different strategies. And Belgium, the bus stop chicane is where I have had some pretty awesome passes. Had a good one on the restart in the rain. That was a dodgy one. But we made it stick, and yeah. Looking forward to the new game. Hopefully, the new game's gonna help the style out. I'm super keen. But I'll be back tomorrow to finish off the elite division.
Yeah, look, down that bus stop, you were so much quicker than anyone else. So if you've got a little bit of time tomorrow, I'll hop on and you can show me what the hell you were doing, because it was amazing to watch you down there. Buddy, seriously though, congratulations, a really good result. Great to see you on the podium.
Too easy. Thanks, guys.
I got one more question before you go here, Bass. Just
okay.
just so you know how many points you get for second, right?
Yeah.
How many is that?
25-ish.
All right. So now Lemon's already won it. JJ, who was sitting third, has pushed himself up to second, and you had Nordal, Fluxy, Kyle in front of you, and with that second place, I think you've pushed yourself up to sitting fourth in the drivers' championship. So 6th to 4th. That means you can pick your teammate next year, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so. No, that's pretty solid.
A little cheeky.
It is a little bit cheeky. Mainly my battle today was against Weiryu because we were tied on points. It doesn't show on the standings, but because he's a reserve. But yeah, we were tied on points. But he DNF, so yeah, I was just racing for the fun, and then Fluxy DNF, and then no Nordal. So yeah, interesting. Plenty of options for next season with different teammates for people moving up. So could upset a couple of people's pre-picks. Could be fun.
Very nice. All right, mate. Well, congratulations. We're going to let you go here. So thanks very much for sharing some time.
No problem. Cheers, guys.
And
All right.
just for the guys in chat, Reblitz and Osbar, the guy that's breathing creepy is me because I've got a cold at the moment. Apologies for that. I'll just move my mic away. So don't be scared. I'm not coming to get you. Well, maybe.
All right. We're going to grab one more here, and it has to be the man who finished in third, Mickey DeWiz. So we'll just quickly grab him. Mickey DeWiz, stayed out of trouble and got yourself on the podium there, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That was a very good drive, my friend. You as Man of Tin just said, you right throughout that race, you didn't get caught up in worrying about fastest laps. You just kept it clean, no spin, stayed off the ripple strips. What was the plan coming into this for you?
Plan was to win the constructors with Lemon, so that was pretty much finishing since there was only 16 people that were in the lobby, and just take it nice and slow and not to spin, and just see how high I can get in the championship.
Well, not only is it awesome of you to be up on the podium at this track where we've seen some absolute superstars of the ARL series and all the various divisions put it into the wall and spin out and have all sorts of dramas, to not be able to do that should put you in pretty good stead for the upcoming season. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, looking forward to it. I feel like I will adapt pretty well to the F122 cars. Did quite a lot of practice already. But yeah, looking forward to next season, not sure what's going to happen.
Well, awesome job to be up on the podium.
Thanks, mate.
Well, I'm going to keep you in here. We're just going to grab Lemon as well.
All right.
Because as we welcome Lemon coming in now, the team standings, Aston Martin has won the Constructors title, and Lemon has, already had one, but is your Drivers champion as well. So well done to the Aston Martin boys.
Thanks.
Yeah, great job by you both. It takes two to win a Constructors championship. It's not just a one horse war. Were you guys nervous about winning the Constructors championship coming into this, or did you think it was a fait accompli?
Well, it required an Alpine to get a 1-2 and either of us to score less than 2 points. So
Pretty much all we needed to do was finish and we would win.
one of us needed to finish P14.
There, well, that was a bit easy for you guys, but still, you have to do it because we've seen so many people crash out so far this week. You had to keep it on the track, and this place is not that easy to do that on.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
Especially coming from, we played F122 a lot, and especially coming from that, like, I was catching slides that weren't even slides, just because I was paranoid from playing 22.
Same.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, boys, on the Constructors win. We'll let you go, and we'll wrap this up. So thanks very much, boys.
Yep, thanks.
Well done.
See ya.
All right. Well, we'll just about wrap this up now. As we've just mentioned, Lemon is your 2021 Drivers' Champion, followed by JJ in second and Nordal in third, even though he didn't race tonight. Your Constructors' Champions are Aston Martin with a pretty convincing run. And that about does us for Wednesday night's Prodigy Division. Have you got anything else to wrap us up with, HK?
No, it's just awesome to be involved in the commentary, watching these guys lay it all on the line, especially in tricky conditions like that. Enjoyed the race, and I know Chat did too. They're all saying it was an awesome race. Good to be along to have a bit of fun.
Well, there you have it. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. We will see you tomorrow night with the last race of this season in the Elite Division. Make sure you tune in, and we will see you tomorrow night. Thanks, guys.